Hey, have you seen the latest video from ARG channel?
What's an ARG?
I'm going to kill you. An ARG, or alternate reality game, is a type of game that consists of hidden messages, codes, and puzzles, all usually in the form of websites, videos, or even things in reality like posters, locations, and phone numbers. Now, before we get this whole thing started, I put together this little quiz to help you guys figure out what an ARG is. You may not believe it, but the answer is actually none of them. That's right, none of these are ARGs. These are all examples of analog horror. Analog horror has a lot of similar elements to ARGs, but they are not the same. Now, I could make a whole segment on what analog horror is, and then compare it to ARGs, but I'll save that for another video. For now, let's get into my first topic. All ARGs use something called transmedia storytelling. What this means is something that uses multiple forms of media to tell one continuous story. For example, a story that's separated into a video on YouTube and a website could be transmedia storytelling. Even if it was two separate videos on YouTube, but they were on different YouTube channels, that would also be transmedia storytelling. Now, a great example of this would be the Hypnagogic Archives. Wendigoon. The Hypnagogic Archive is an ARG that uses a website to tell text-based stories, along with a YouTube channel to tell video-based stories that connect to the text stories. This is a great example of transmedia storytelling because the stories are connected across different platforms. Speaking of different platforms, why don't we talk about my next point? Another element of all ARGs is what I'm going to call blurring the lines. This is one of the main selling points of ARGs. They'll give you all the facts as if it was real, but it's not. For example, if I told you about something called let's make up a name, Bigfoot, I would state all the facts about him as if he was real, and I would leave you to figure out that I'm talking about a myth, a story, something I made up. I mean, if you see a TV show like Law & Order, or literally any other show that has disturbing content, what's the first thing you see? This content is based purely in fiction. Any relation to real people, places, or events are purely coincidental. ARGs don't tell you that. In fact, they imply that it is real. They sometimes even use real things outside of the internet, which we'll talk about in our next section. What's an alternate reality game without the game part? An alternate reality story? That doesn't sound fun. The biggest part of an ARG is the G, the game. Now, when I say puzzles, you might think of ciphers or codes. Well, you are right, there is another type of puzzle. A real-life puzzle. ARGs that have sections with real-life interaction are relatively rare nowadays due to that one worldwide bad thing that happened during 2020. But they do still exist. A great example of this is the ARG Paranormal Paranoids. Near the end of the uploads from the channel, people around Ohio started finding posters hanging on trees, asking if anyone remembered the group. There are plenty more examples, but I'm going to focus on the online puzzles for the rest of this part. An extremely common cipher in ARGs is the Caesar shift, or Caesar cipher. What this cipher does is takes letters and shift them by different places. For example, A equals X, B equals Y, C equals Z, and so on. This will lead to a message like this to become a message like this. You can also choose how far you want the letters to be shifted. So you could have a 1 shift, which is A equals B, 2 equals C, 3 equals Z, 4 equals Y, 5 equals Z. You can also choose how far you want the letters to be shifted. So you could have a 1 shift, which is A equals B, 2 equals C, 3 equals Z, 4 equals Y, 5 equals Z. You can also all the way to a 26 shift, which is A equals Z. But enough about the Caesar cipher. You want the good stuff. You want the good stuff. The dancing men cipher. Hell yeah. The dancing men cipher. Yeah. The dancing men cipher is from a Sherlock Holmes novel titled The Adventure of the Dancing Men. How original. To put it very short, in the novel, Sherlock Holmes figures out that each picture of a dancing man is a substitute for a letter. He then uses frequency analysis to crack the code. Codes and ciphers are very important to ARGs, and without them, you don't have any interactivity. You have nothing that makes it a game. You only have a story. Anyways, those are my points. Oh, I also want to mention that at the time of recording this, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. And we are literally 4 subscribers away. So make sure to subscribe, recommend to your friends, review us on Yelp, whatever you want to do. Oh, and comment ideas for me to do during a 1,000 subscribers live stream here on YouTube. Also, if you're one of my stream viewers and you're wondering why I just suddenly stopped streaming, go check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/LukeyLou17. That's where I stream now. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good day, Make sure you enjoy your day. And finally, bye!